Welcome back, Psychonauts. So today I'm going to give you my full review of Dr. Joe Dispenza's online course, The Formula. And I'm going to go over who I think that this course is great for, and honestly, who could skip this course if they wanted to, as well as a few of the things that I like and I didn't like about the course. Now, just to kind of give you a reference of where I'm at in my Dr. Joe journey before I took this course, I have read his book, Becoming Supernatural. I love this book. It's definitely a recommended read for anybody out there, and I'm actually reading it twice, and as you see, I've taken a lot of notes, done a lot of highlighting in here. I've reread many of these pages and chapters, and I plan on rereading the entire thing. And I've also completed the audiobooks of You Are the Placebo and Breaking the Habit of Becoming Yourself, both by Dr. Joe. And I've watched his entire series on Gaia Network at least twice. Some of those episodes I probably watched 3 or 4 times. And I've listened to hours and hours of his podcasts and interviews on YouTube. So that's kind of where I'm coming from before I entered into taking this online course to try to take me the next step on this Dr. Joe journey. Now, this course really focuses on one specific aspect of what he teaches in a lot of his books. So he has this entire book, Becoming Supernatural, has a lot of content in here. But what he teaches in this online course is probably only a few pages in here. But I think that he believes that it's probably one of the most important parts of this book and of his teachings is this formula. And what the formula really is how to attract the life that you really want. There's a lot of remnants and reminders of The Secret, right? We all remember that from 10 years ago. Everybody was talking about The Secret. But a lot of people were saying that it wasn't actually working for them. It didn't actually manifest their dream lives that they wanted. And the formula teaches you a very similar formula to The Secret, but there's a few extra components. It goes a lot deeper into how to actually do that. And this entire course is really focused around this one formula, kind of teaching you the science of why it works and teaching you various meditations leading up to kind of one big meditation that they want you to practice. And what I like about the course is they kind of break this formula down into different segments and teach you a meditation for each of these segments so that you can really learn it on a much deeper level. And the accumulation of all this is that they want you to have heart-brain coherence, right? And that's really what they focus on, so they teach you a lot of the science behind that. And they'll have one specific meditation just for heart coherence, and then a separate one for brain coherence, and then a separate one for you just to being aware of the space around your body. And then the final meditation that they teach you and that is included in this course is this heart-brain coherence meditation. And in it, they have you visualizing the future that you want, and they have you feeling the emotions that you would feel if you achieved that future. If you had that future, what are the emotions? And by triggering those emotions, your body is releasing the hormones that you would release if you were actually in that situation of being healed or finding love or having massive success in business or something. The same hormones that your body would release during that, you're releasing during this meditation. And I find that really, really interesting. And as you can see, it's at a much deeper level than just The Secret. And all of this is, first you go into a deep meditative state. So you're 5-10 minutes into this deep meditation, and then you start visualizing this future, and then you start feeling the emotions of it. And I think that there's really 2 different types of benefits from doing this type of meditation that he teaches in this book. One, I think just visualizing the future that you want and feeling those emotions that you would feel, you're giving yourself an advantage because you have the hormones in your body at that time of what it'd be like to be successful and to achieve that goal. And that can definitely give you a huge advantage in achieving that goal. But just that visualization technique as well, you're establishing these new neural connections, which is going to make it far easier for you to kind of refire those neural connections in order to manifest this new reality. So I think, like, just from a neuroscience aspect and a physical aspect, there are real benefits in terms of these neural connections and the hormones that you're releasing by doing these meditations. Now, he also talks, though, about this other metaphysical benefits to it, that when you have a thought, you're putting out an electrical signal. When you're feeling an emotion, you're putting out a magnetic signal. And combined, you have that heart-brain coherence, you're putting out this really powerful electromagnetic signal that is literally attracting that future to you. And then he gets pretty deep into some stuff, right? He talks about how in this course he teaches you that essentially we're living in a multiverse, that there are multiple versions of reality, infinite number of realities going on with infinite number of different slight tweaks and slight differences between them, and that our consciousness can essentially travel between these different multiverses, and by doing this meditation, you are attracting this other multiverse to your consciousness, and that's how you're manifesting these different, destinies and dreams and achievements. Really interesting stuff. And there's not as much science as the other things that I mentioned of establishing new neural connections and kind of priming your brain for that future and releasing the hormones that go along with that future. This is some pretty fringe science stuff, but it's really, really interesting. I think it's totally possible as well. And this one meditation is really what this entire online course accumulates to, is how to manifest your dreams and your destiny. And I will say, I do like this final meditation that he teaches. Essentially, it's going to be like 10-15 minutes of him kind of priming you, getting you into heart coherence and brain coherence, being aware of the space around your body, envisioning the future that you want, and then feeling the emotion of that future, and then just holding that state for as long as you can. And it feels like it may be like 20 minutes or so without him talking, but there's like this wah 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 wah, the sounds and everything of his meditations, and it feels good. That is a really good feeling meditation. It's actually one of my favorite ones. I think it may just be called heart brain coherence or something along those lines. But once I kind of took this course, I started noticing that there are other meditations as well, where he does kind of touch on the same thing. He has the blessing of the energy centers meditation, where you run through each of your chakras or energy centers and kind of, feel them and see them, envision them. And then he spends like 5 minutes at the end of that one talking about envision the future that you want, then feel the emotions. And it's only about 5 minutes or so that he focuses on this, versus this meditation where it's like a good 30, 40, 50 minutes of just this one focus of you attracting this new destiny to you. Now, I do want to say that I think that this course is very well produced, very well done. There are multiple, close to hour-long videos that you get with this course that are specifically made for this course. And I think that's really good. This is not just him uploading videos from one of his other classes or something. These are dedicated videos, and he's teaching you this in a very linear sequence. He wants you to follow them in order, and he'll teach you a certain segment, and then you practice meditation. Teaches you something else, you practice that meditation. So I do like the course itself and how he presents the information. And they also have an ebook that goes along with this course as well. Somebody like me, I like to watch the videos, but I also like to have something I can kind of study and kind of read through. And I think the ebook is very well done. The graphics in it are very nice and easy to read, easy to follow along with. There's a lot of graphics and diagrams and everything in the ebook as well. Now, there are some drawbacks to this course, some little things that kind of bugged me on this course. And one of them is with this ebook, it's not a PDF ebook. It's not a printable ebook as well. So they essentially expect you to read the entire ebook on your computer or on your smart device or whatever, which is really, really annoying. I hate reading content on a computer. I've never ever read an ebook on a computer or a tablet, anything like that. I want a physical copy, and for the price of this course, you would think they could send you something, mail you a little book, or give you something that you can print off and make it yourself. Really frustrating. Now, I did kind of find a workaround for this, and that is that I could not print these pages independently. There was no just hit print button on these. But what I could do was actually take images of these individual pages and then print the images off. So that's what these are, is they're actually images of the book that I had to print off, which is really kind of frustrating. But I do want to show you kind of the quality of this. So there are, you know, a lot of diagrams. It's very easy to read. But as you can see, I'm the type of person, I like highlighting, I like rereading sections, and I can't really easily do that with the online book, which is really, really frustrating. And now I have to kind of carry around these papers like this. I may get a hole punch for it, I may not. You know, I may just throw them away after I'm done reading. It's very frustrating. I wish that they had a book that accompanied this formula course. I really would have preferred that, or at least let me print it, download it, and print it off properly, rather than me having to print screen captures of each individual page. You know, when you do that, you can't print it on both sides either, or I wasn't able to, when it's just an image file instead of a text file. Now, another gripe that I have with this course is that these meditations that you do, you have to have the course open. So you have to log into drjoedispenza.com, find your course, go to that section, and then listen to the actual meditation, including the final meditation. Again, very frustrating. I really wish that they had an MP3 or something I could put on my smartphone, or maybe a better app on the phone where I can get access to this stuff. But having to bring my laptop into my bedroom to do these meditations, I found really just kind of frustrating. So there are just these little quality of life quirks with the course that I feel like could be a little bit better, and I wish that they would just make it a little bit easier on us. You know, I don't know if they're worried about like copyright infringements or something like that, or people downloading the book and then like giving it away, or maybe they're worrying about that with the MP3s as well, and that's why you have to do it on the computer. I don't know. It's all very frustrating how to actually like interact with this stuff. And I hope that they have like a better app one day, and I could just like literally just listen to these on my app rather than opening up the course. And to listen to the meditations, you have to actually play the video file. So playing a video file on my computer in order for me to listen to these meditations, a little frustrating. And so overall, who do I think that this course is for? So honestly, I think that for some people, you can skip this course. The actual information that is in this course, right? This actual information here is also in many of his other books, right? Becoming Supernatural talks about many of these same concepts. If you read You Are the Placebo, there's actually a lot of overlap between this book and that book. Same thing with Breaking the Habit of Becoming Yourself, and there's a few other books as well. And it's far cheaper to buy these books than it is to take this online course. But maybe you're not a reader. Maybe you don't like audiobooks either. If that's the type of person you are, and you don't want to learn all this other stuff that I think is interesting, but there's a lot of other metaphysical concepts in here, a lot of scientific concepts and stories. You don't want to read all that, right? You just give me the most important part to this. Make it as easy as possible for me to consume in video format rather than a book. You know, that's what this course is. It's really compressing the most important message and concept that he teaches down to a very well-produced video series. And I do think that the information in there is very, very valuable, especially if you do practice this stuff. And I absolutely do think that there is a huge, huge benefit physically, but also possibly by attracting new destinies and manifesting your dreams and potentially traveling through the multiverse through this stuff. I think that's all very interesting. And very possible. And so that's really what this course is about. And so if you do want to check out this course yourself, I will have a link to it down in the description below. And if you guys want to check out what my first experience was with a float tank, you can watch this video right over here. Don't forget to subscribe for more psychonautic and meditation and spiritual videos just like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you over in the next video.